Most people assume that bigger animals mean bigger profits, but in livestock farming, that assumption has quietly cost thousands of American farmers their margins, their time, and in some cases, their entire operation. The truth is, the most profitable animal on your farm isn't always the one that weighs the most. It's the one that fits your land, your budget, and your life. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 key factors that determine whether cattle or sheep will make you more money, with real numbers, real trade-offs, and no sugarcoating. If you're someone planning a sustainable farming investment or looking to make your land more productive and self-sufficient, this channel is for you. I post calm, practical farming and life ideas every week, and subscribing means the answers you're looking for will just show up. I'm glad you found your way here. Let's start. What to expect? Here's exactly what we're covering today. We'll walk through startup costs, land use, feed efficiency, market demand, income streams, labor requirements, and long-term sustainability. 7 factors that together give you the clearest, most honest picture of which animal actually wins for your situation. Whether you're a first-time farmer in the Midwest, a retiree with a few acres in the South, or someone who's been running a small operation for years and wants to make it more productive and profitable, this breakdown is built for you. By the end, you won't just have an answer. You'll have a framework that helps you make every future livestock decision with confidence, clarity, and a lot less second-guessing. Startup costs. What it actually takes to begin. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem most new farmers in the U.S. face every single day, underestimating what it costs to get started. And that gap between expectation and reality is where most early operations begin to struggle. It's not a failure of effort. It's a failure of honest information. And that's exactly what this section is here to fix. The reason this works is simple. Understanding your upfront investment respects how real farming life actually functions in America. Costs vary by region, by season, and by market conditions. It doesn't depend on optimism or best-case scenarios. It works even when prices rise and conditions aren't ideal, which is why farmers who plan this way tend to last. To start, all you need is a basic land assessment and a realistic budget. If you already have those 2 things, you're ready to compare your options honestly. What you're doing is simply looking at cost per head before you commit. A beef cow in the U.S. typically costs between $2,500 and $3,000 to purchase, depending on breed, age, and region. A quality ewe runs between $200 and $500. That means for the same $3,000 investment, you can start with 1 cow or a productive starter flock of 6 to 10 sheep, animals that can begin generating income in multiple ways almost immediately. To keep it going, track your cost per head from day one. That single habit, simple, consistent, non-negotiable, protects your entire operation from the quiet financial drift that ends most small farms in their first 3 years. Over time, understanding your startup cost ratio doesn't just improve cash flow, it changes how your farming decisions feel. Less guessing, more confidence, a little more calm. A small thing that makes this easier is starting with females only, ewes or heifers, before adding breeding males. You don't need a bull or ram on day 1, but having productive females means your investment starts working for you while you learn. Land and space requirements. This one matters because it solves a quiet problem many American landowners live with, owning acreage that's working far below its productive potential. Not because the land is poor, but because the wrong animal is on it. Matching your animal choice to your land size is one of the most life-changing decisions a farmer can make, and it costs nothing to get right. The reason this works is because it aligns your investment with what you actually own and can manage today. It doesn't depend on expansion plans, bank loans, or renting more pasture. It works with what's already there, which is why it's sustainable. To start, measure your usable grazing acres. Exclude woodlands, wet areas, and any land you can't rotate. That honest number is your true baseline. What you're doing is matching stocking density to land capacity. Cattle in the U.S. typically require 1.5 to 2 acres per animal unit depending on your region and forage quality. Sheep need only 0.5 to 1 acre per head. That means the same 10 acres that supports 5 to 6 cattle can support 10 to 20 sheep, potentially doubling your stocking capacity and your revenue per acre without buying a single additional foot of land. To keep it going, rotate your grazing zones seasonally. That one habit preserves your pasture quality, prevents overgrazing, and keeps your supplemental feed costs low all year long. One of the most productive things any small farm operator can do. Over time, optimizing your land use doesn't just increase output. It makes your farm feel more intentional, more self-sufficient, more like an operation that was designed with purpose, not built by accident. A small thing that helps is planting a mix of legumes and native grasses across your pasture. Sheep especially thrive on diverse, healthy forage, and it meaningfully reduces your dependence on purchased hay, which is one of the largest controllable costs on any small farm. Feed efficiency and daily costs. This one matters because feed is quietly the single largest ongoing expense in U.S. livestock farming, and most farmers don't calculate it carefully until it's already eating through their profit margin. By then, the damage is done quietly, consistently, and over months before anyone notices. The numbers don't add up. The reason this works is that feed efficiency isn't about restricting your animals or cutting corners on their health. It's about matching each animal's natural appetite and biological design to what your land and budget can sustainably produce over a full year, not just a good quarter. To start, calculate your daily feed cost per animal. All you need is the current price of hay or pasture forage in your area and your animal's approximate body weight. What you're doing is comparing real consumption numbers. A mature beef cow in the U.S. consumes roughly 26 to 30 pounds of dry matter daily. A sheep consumes between 3 and 5 pounds per day. On a per pound of body weight basis, sheep convert feed into body mass more efficiently, meaning you're producing more saleable product per dollar spent on feed. For a small farm operator watching every input cost, that difference compounds significantly over a full production cycle. To keep it going, review your feed costs monthly, not annually. Small seasonal adjustments made early in a feed cycle save meaningful money before winter. That habit alone separates farms that grow from farms that merely survive. Over time, mastering feed efficiency doesn't just lower costs. It gives you a level of financial control that changes how your whole farm operates. Less waste, stronger margins, a clearer, more productive path forward. A small thing that makes a real difference is sourcing hay locally before the season peaks. Buying in bulk during late summer months, when supply is high and prices are lower, can reduce your winter feed costs substantially, and that savings goes directly back into your operation. If this breakdown is helpful so far, give it a like. It tells YouTube to share this with other farmers and landowners across the country who need it. And I'm curious, based on what you've heard so far, are you leaning toward cattle or sheep for your situation? Drop it in the comments below. I actually read them, and your answer might shape a future video on this channel. Let's keep this conversation going. Income streams. How each animal pays you. This one matters because the most life-changing financial decisions in farming come from understanding all the ways a single animal can generate income, not just one meat sale at market weight. Most farmers are leaving real, accessible money on the table simply because no one walked them through the full picture. The reason this works is that diversified income from a single animal type is what separates sustainable U.S. farm operations from ones that survive only during strong market years. When one income stream slows, the others carry the operation forward, and that resilience is what makes farming a viable long-term family investment. To start, list every product or service your chosen animal can produce. Most farmers track only one or two. There are usually far more available. What you're doing is expanding your mental model of what your animals are worth. Cattle offer beef sales, dairy potential on certain breeds, breeding stock sales, and hides. Sheep offer lamb and mutton sales, wool, sheep milk and cheese on dairy breeds, lanolin, high-value breeding stock, and nutrient-rich manure for healthy soil building, making them a rare, multi-revenue animal on a surprisingly small footprint. In many U.S. markets, a single registered ram from a desirable breed can sell for more than a finished beef steer. To keep it going, develop at least 2 active income streams per animal type from your very first production year. That redundancy is what keeps your operation financially healthy during market dips, seasonal gaps, and unexpected veterinary costs. Over time, building multiple income streams from your flock or herd doesn't just improve revenue. It makes your farm genuinely self-sufficient and gives your family a layer of financial stability that no single market price can take away. A small thing worth exploring early is selling breeding stock rather than only meat animals. Registered or pedigreed animals in both cattle and sheep regularly command prices several times higher than standard market weight sales, and it requires no additional land or feed investment beyond what you're already doing. Labor and management demands. This one matters because labor is the hidden cost that most profitability calculators completely ignore, and it's often what makes or breaks a farming operation over the long term. You can have healthy animals, great land, and solid market access, and still burn out if the daily management demand doesn't match your real capacity. The reason this works is that matching your management style and available hours to your animal choice is how farming stays enjoyable, healthy, and personally sustainable, not just profitable on paper. A farm that drains you is never truly a good investment, no matter what the numbers say. To start, honestly assess how many hours per week you and your family can realistically dedicate to livestock care, including weekends, early mornings, and the seasons when everything demands attention at once. What you're doing is right-sizing your operation to your actual life. Cattle are generally lower maintenance per head, and they require less frequent handling, fewer routine health interventions, and simpler fencing infrastructure. Sheep require more consistent foot trimming, scheduled shearing, regular deworming, and reliable predator protection. However, their smaller size makes individual handling significantly easier and safer, a meaningful advantage for older farmers, solo operators, or anyone managing their land without hired help. To keep it going, build a simple weekly care checklist for whichever animal you choose. Consistent small actions prevent the expensive, time-consuming emergencies that derail both productivity and peace of mind on any farm. Over time, right-sizing your labor commitment doesn't just reduce physical stress, it makes farming a sustainable lifestyle and a worthy family investment for the long haul. A small thing that dramatically reduces overnight labor with sheep is a well-trained livestock guardian dog. One reliable dog can protect an entire flock through the night, removing the most exhausting and anxiety-producing part of sheep management entirely. Market demand and selling your animals. This one matters because producing a healthy, well-raised animal means very little if you can't sell it at a price that genuinely covers your costs and rewards your time and investment. Market access is the piece most beginning farmers research last, and it should be the piece they research first. The reason this works is that understanding your local and regional market before you invest your first dollar is the single habit that separates profitable U.S. farm operations from ones that are always one bad auction away from breaking even. Knowledge of your buyer before you have a product to sell is one of the most productive advantages any farmer can hold. To start, research your nearest livestock auction, local butchers, and direct sale options in your area before purchasing your first animal. That research costs nothing and protects everything. What you're doing is mapping your exit before you enter. Beef cattle enjoy broad, consistent demand across virtually every U.S. region. The infrastructure for buying, processing, and selling beef is well established nationwide. Sheep and lamb, however, hold a rare and growing market advantage in many American cities, where lamb is a cultural and dietary staple commanding premium prices year-round, especially around high-demand periods like Eid al-Adha, Easter, and Passover. In cities with large immigrant and ethnic communities, live lamb demand regularly exceeds local supply, creating a genuine pricing opportunity for producers who show up consistently. To keep it going, build at least one direct buyer relationship from your first production year: a local restaurant, independent butcher, food co-op, or community buyer. Direct sales in the U.S. consistently outperform auction prices, and that margin difference is often the difference between a farm that grows and one that stalls. Over time, building your own market doesn't just improve income. It gives your operation a life-changing layer of financial stability that no auction schedule or commodity price can offer. A small thing worth doing is joining a local farmers market, agricultural co-op, or a breed association in your state. The direct relationships and market intelligence you build there are frequently worth more than any single transaction. Priority bonus. Tip. Here's something most people miss, and it matters more than choosing between cattle and sheep, more than finding the perfect breed, and more than timing the market just right. Instead of adding something new to your operation, remove one small but consistent inefficiency that's quietly costing you more than you realize. Most small farms in the U.S. leak profit in ways that never show up clearly on a budget sheet. It might be poor or non-existent record keeping, so you never actually know your true cost per pound of gain. It might be inconsistent feeding schedules that reduce animal performance without anyone connecting the dots. It might be reactive veterinary care instead of a simple, low-cost preventive health program that costs a fraction of a single emergency visit. It might be selling at auction out of habit when a direct buyer is 20 minutes away and willing to pay more. None of these are dramatic failures. They're quiet ones. And quiet failures are the most expensive kind because they compound over months and years before anyone stops to examine them. Pick one inefficiency in your current setup or in the setup you're planning, and address it before you add a single animal. That single change will often make everything else more productive, more profitable, and more sustainable without spending an extra dollar. That's not a shortcut. That's how serious farmers think. You don't need a perfect farm, a large property, or decades of experience to build something meaningful, productive, and genuinely self-sufficient on American soil. You just need one steady, informed direction and the willingness to act on it this week imperfectly with what you already have. Pick one insight from today. Maybe it's reassessing how many animals your land can actually support. Maybe it's looking into your local lamb market for the first time. Maybe it's simply starting a feed cost tracker before you invest another dollar. Whatever it is, do that one thing. That's how real, sustainable farming progress starts. Not with a perfect plan, with a first honest step. And if you want more calm, practical ideas on farming, intentional living, and building a productive, self-sufficient life, subscribe to Zero to Purpose. This channel is for people who want to build something real, without pressure, noise, or burnout. Thanks for spending this time here. I'll see you in the next one.